Okay, I'm back. The other one isn't even finished downloading, but some of these comments on TikTok, it's just like, fuck, dude. What? People's priorities, and then they'll say shit. And it's like they don't even hear. Like, people are just like, this is a morally bankrupt society. They just don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck about other people. So every man is out for themselves, dog eat dog world. It's strange especially when they will tell you things like how they look at it, and it's just, and I only have a couple of lines to comment back or ask questions, and so that I wanted to talk about because it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all the disruption all of a sudden. That's so crazy. And when I was out walking Stella, so I went around looking this morning to see, and there was no weird poop or anything anywhere. So then when we went for a walk, she had to pee constantly. So I was like, oh, she's got a bladder infection. That's why she's uncomfortable. That's why she's having to go out constantly. So I tried to sneak some antibiotics because I have a few left because she just is such a bitch about fucking medicine. And so I tried to sneak them in some brownies. She fucking got them out and, refused to take them. And so I was looking up to try and see because I think, the kidneys is a part of the filtration system in the body. There's so many toxins going through the body that their body is filtering out all these toxins. So, I mean, a lot, you can look up the statistics, but a lot of animals die from kidney cancers. And a lot of cats and stuff get like this kidney cancer and kidney disease and stuff. It's like with a lot of dogs too. When Winston got his, when they came, they said that it could be bladder or kidney, but so it's common. And the bladder is just like the holding tank. The kidney is the filter, and then the bladder is the holding tank. And then, the part of the hose to get it out. But anyways, so I want to make sure I keep her kidneys clean. But I was looking it up for kidney health and stuff. It's just like tons of medicine and stuff, more stuff to put on. So if anybody knows, I'm going to keep looking. I gotta still look up more stuff. But it is another thing that I wanted to say about the days too, is time. Like, what the fuck? It's just like jumping. It's jumping so far ahead. It's crazy. Like, I'll be doing something and I'm trying to, do my, the reason that I'll pay attention to it is my sun that I'm going around doing my plants. So what is that called with the sun, whatever it's called. Anyways, I have to do it with mine. And so I try and give them all a couple of hours each of food. And so, and it is crazy. I can't even keep up with it. I can't. And even when I try and look at the numbers of the time, it'll be like, what time? Like, they're all just confused. They're just all going and like, it's like everything's glitching to me. And the only thing I can think of it is just the more of letting go, seeing through the stuff. It doesn't work for you anymore. It can't work for you. It's what's so kind of creepy about seeing the people who are just still so in the 3D. They just keep trying to make it work. They keep trying to make it work. And all these people are just so willing to just do whatever. And it just trips me out because so much of what... It's like the same things as what people complain about is what they're just willing to do. They just want to play the victim. So what they have to do, and all this, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, you have choices. You don't have to do anything. Like, you are making choices. Your choices are because what you think is success, what you think is this, those all come, that is the stuff in you that you need to go back through. This is why everything is happening. You got to go back through and decide, what is success? What is, the things that we have? There's so many of these people. This one girl was just telling me, well, you know, she's going to hold on to all her, I don't even know which one she was even commenting on at this point. But she was saying that, you know, they're going to hold on to their stuff. They're going to go to work and get their money and all that. They're sure the hell not going to go end up living in a tent. I was like, so you got a problem with people who live in tents? Like, what in the hell? So you know, you just as soon never see your partner, never see your kids. Just work, 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 work. Maybe get a couple hours at home where everybody needs to meet, gather, clean up a little bit, bitch, yell at each other, maybe possibly. You know, not what are your memories you're creating? Are you putting a lot of effort into the time you have together, or is everybody just tired from the week they've had? And so then, you know, everybody just kind of separates. We wonder, like, what's going on with families? Priorities changed. They changed a lot. And so, I mean, whereas a woman, you know, 40 years ago should have stayed married to somebody, no matter what, worked it out, you know, wrote it out with them. Both of my brothers have stayed married like that. They've all, you know, worked through their problems and are going into that past 25 years married kind of situation. And, you know, that's some hard years, hard ass years, you know. To me, anybody who can get through those years with a partner, same partner, props to you. Like, fuck, that's some hard shit. Raising kids, all of the conflicts that arise, all of the time of trying to work and get ahead and all that. But back in the day, it wasn't the competition like that. You know, women's place, they had their place, and why it became so demonized that they were the ones running the show is so they had their place, you know, and they were a productive, it was what kept society going. And so then, you know, it's why they had to get the women out of the house. They had to collapse the family. They had to get the women out of the house. And back in those days, you know, women would stand by their husbands. You know, and there were some husbands who did some shitty things. That's, you know, those soul's business. That's what they're working out. But it is, it was just a difference in how people were to each other. They weren't so disposable. They weren't like, well, I'm going to just upgrade. I can do better than you. Always this attitude. It is like, it's so much in our world. Like, you have these girls, for instance, these girls, you know, that are very overweight, very floozy-ish, you know, just want to show all their body parts for attention, and then think that they are just, don't know how to cook, don't really like to clean. You know, it's more like the man needs to make sure that he has enough money to hire somebody to clean, or he better do half the cleaning and half the cooking. And, you know, some of them don't even think they should have to work. They should be able to stay home with their kids and stuff. It's just like, it's so strange. It's like women have lost so much respect for themselves. They just are like, don't, it's like, don't you have more to, isn't there more to you? And this, desperation, you know, this desperation of, this guy did this video, and the way I saw it was like a stitch, that this guy was stitching this video, and he was saying, his whole stitch was about like this, PTSD moment or something that he had watching the other guy's video, because he thought the girl in the video was actually his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, because of how she was treating the guy and her voice and everything. And so he was like, had this weird moment or something. So he was doing this whole video about that. So I just went back to hear the guy's video that he had heard it from, because he was so traumatized by this girl and how these girls behave and stuff like that. So I went back, and the guy is videotaping. I gotta let her in. Hold on. Stella, come on, hang up. Stella, I'm busy. Come on. Stella. She's trying to pull a fast one. Trying to get me to go back out or something. They're like, look over there. Like, no, dude, I'm doing something. And so now I get back to where I was talking. The disruptions are so annoying. Okay. Well, let me just think back what I was. Oh, now I've got things going across my thing. God, this is weird. This whole energy is so weird. It is so chaotic. It is so much like this dark energy purging out. And I do think that dream I had, I don't even remember if I said about the dream on here, but I had a dream last night. I was really active. Like, I felt like I was in these places. It was weird. But there's just this one part, but it all seemed so real. But this one part, we're going down the interstate, going towards Spokane, and it's how the road looks and stuff. And so when we came over, all of a sudden there was headlights coming towards us. So we went back over like, fuck, somebody's on the wrong side of the road. Then we went back and it was like, no, another one. They just kept coming. And so they were all on the wrong side of the road coming towards us. And we were going on this thing because on the 90, it's only 2 lanes, even though it's the interstate when you're way out in the flyover zone. What I got from it was everything's turning in directions. Everything's turning the other way. And I think it is that awakened part. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean everything is turning, but it's turned, if you get what I'm saying. Like people are seeing things differently. People are looking at things differently. And even though there's like some of these people, it's just like, but see, they're bringing that up in themselves. Even going in to say something to me or something, to take a stand. So many of them, I say stuff and they just like, and I know it's not me saying it. I know that this is, it's information that the universe is sending to me, and they know how to direct it. They know what to say to who. And I mean, it's crazy because somebody can say something and I'm like, got to come back immediately. But I'm not like, anyways, I don't take that as me. I take that as, I'm a team. I'm not just, I'm not Kelly. I've got a team. And I would be, really, I wouldn't feel good about myself to not say that, because I do have such a relationship with them, and I have for, my whole life. So I have to acknowledge them. And that's, who's always telling me shit. They're always pointing stuff out to me and stuff. So anyways, when I got snappy comebacks and stuff, or I say things that just, just stop the person, I just know it's like they got the seed they were supposed to get. They got what they were supposed to get. It doesn't matter how the conversation ends. It doesn't matter. I'm not supposed to change anybody right then. I'm just dropping out seeds. We're seeding this. Like to me, this period of time, this is like the tunnel, the bridge to the new age. But like I've said, the bridge isn't one that you could just go across and get through the gate without doing the work. The bridge is hard. The bridge is like the desert. It is that, what was the Bible story or something about being in the desert 400 years or 40 years or whatever it was. I don't know. But this is what we're in right now. This period of time is like that. It is this bridge to something new. But we got to let go of what was old. See, and that's what people don't want to do. They don't want to let go of it. They think that it's, and it just blows my mind. It's like this stuff is getting ripped out of people's hands every day. And still you are willing to go to work endless hour and pay your bill, and she's not going to damage her credit score. It's like, dude, you can see why this is going to be ripped out of people's hands. Why these people, it's going to hurt when the dollar crashes. And it's going to come in some pretty severe stories, I think, for some people. There will be stories with these people who, are all up in that, don't have a lot, but, are going to dedicate every moment to getting that fucking credit score. Then, they're going to have some things like go to work for a couple weeks, go get their check, and there's nothing there. their retirement's gone. Is you know, and it seems harsh, it seems mean and stuff like that, but it's like this reevaluation. It's so you can get across this bridge. You can elevate yourself. You know, the bridge that you're crossing is also going up in elevation. You know, you have to elevate as you go. Carrying a bunch of heavy weight with you is a lot of work. And so you have to be willing to let go of things as you trek towards this new world, this new, your new self. And so you can, the lighter you become, the less baggage you feel like. And some things are hard to let go of. It's kind of like if you think about like with a hoarder, and you know, they've shown on those shows, and they have those whole counselors and shit to go in and try and help these people release, but they start holding on to things dearly because usually they've all experienced some really horrible loss. So then they started holding on to things, and they just kept holding on and holding on and holding on, and it became, you know, it got out of control because nobody was there to mind the manor, and they haven't been taught. They haven't been taught, hey, you need to reel it in. No, they're taught, go to the doctor, get a diagnosis, then go home and stew in it, you know, whatever goes, goes. So, anyways, when they hold on to stuff, that stuff is so important. I mean, every fucking little thing. Like I've seen before where those people, I mean, it's crazy. Even when I go to my mom's, like, she's not extreme, like, because she doesn't have, you can walk around her house, but she has a lot of stuff. She has more stuff than a lot of people. She holds on to things. But the thing to me about a hoarder is if you go buy more things of something you already have. So you already have that, but then you go buy some more of them. And so, like right now, I'm not a hoarder, but I have my broken where my teapot was breaking, so I got a new one. But then I held on to the old one in the cabinet because every time that I've had the teapot go bad, then I don't have something to back it up or something. Or like, you can always heat it up on the stove. But anyways, I can do that. I can just throw that away. But anyways, it just seemed like smart to hold on to it if this one goes bad, because I've had times where it's been like, you know, 2 weeks before you get another teapot. So, and I like the convenience of just going in and knocking the little button down and it just boils my water. But anyways, I'm not a hoarder, but I always feel like I have to be honest about everything. Like if I'm saying something, then it pops into my mind. That is one way it stops you from being judgmental. Because they're always reminding you of you. They always tell you what you do. And so anyways, but letting go of things. And so it's like people have that same kind of, they're holding on so tight, holding on to identities, things, you know, if they value things, because then that gives them the feeling that they have value. Like everybody has different things that they're trying to figure out, you know, everybody's trying to figure themselves out. It's a process, you know. We're just very hard on each other. We're like fucking elementary school bullies to each other, because that is basically what we're kind of at this level right now, elementary level in the soul world, you know. But this is a big evolution, a big expansion. And so anyways, on this crossing the bridge thing, this is like putting the seeds, this is the opportunity